Welcome in, everybody, to Amalgamation Nation, and this is our special sports show. That was Turnover Tuesdays, but if we're not going to record these on Tuesdays, we're going to figure this out. Or I just upload them on Tuesdays. But see, that I don't... Man, it's going to be weird.
Football Fridays.
No, yeah, like this because we're just doing it on a random Friday. You know, what the fuck if I do it on a Saturday? I don't fucking know. We're going to figure this out. Either way, this is our sports podcast. You can listen to this one, our weebisodes, our gaming ones, all the different shows, including a spoopy episode that we just did, by searching for Amalgamation Nation on your podcast platform of choice, such as Spotify, Google, and Apple. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Amalgamation Nation. Make sure you hit that sub button and check out BK's unboxing of the Oculus Quest 2. It is, get in the numbers. Let's get these fucking subs. All right? Let's do it. Hit that sub button down below. Hit the button. Let's do it. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at AMNationPod. Make sure you hit that follow button. Facebook.com/AMNationPod. And join the A-Nation today. If you're looking for some Amalgamation Nation merch and Undead Red Bull merch, go to undeadredbull.tv/merch. Also, twitch.tv/undeadredbull, where he's streaming some Call of Duty and stuff lately, as well as whenever we jump on there and do our podcast when he's here. We also record those there too, so be on the lookout for that. Hit him with a sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free one a month, so give it to him. Also, twitch.tv/slap_nugget, 2 P's and 2 G's. Make sure you hit him with that follow so we can get him to 50 so he can get affiliated so I can sub to him because that would be dope. Also on Twitter, follow at Josh Barlog, where I join him Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time for Natty Nights, where we talk national and Chicago sports news. If you want an ad, it's $4.99 a month, and it gets you an ad during the beginning of that show, and just let them know that we sent you there. That would be dope. All right, let's jump into this here. Joining me this evening from North Carolina, Brendan B.K. Kennerly. BK, how's it going?
It's good. It's Friday night.
Oh.
What if we call it Fanatic Fridays?
But then what if we don't always do them on Fridays?
We'll just change it.
You just keep changing it every fucking week? I don't know. It's a Saturday, so this is Sack Saturdays. I don't know. I'm going to figure the fuck out.
Sports with the boys.
Yeah, there it is. Hey, it might make a comeback. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I think it should.
And of course, Petey Tahiti Argus. How you doing, Pete?
Dude, I'm doing great. And I mean, BK brought up a good point. Like, just sports with the boys. I mean, it's just, keep it simple. You can, do it Sunday through Saturday. Like, I mean, come on.
It might be.
Maybe. We'll talk to Dan about it.
You'll talk to Dan. We'll get Dan in here. And we'll ask him. Dan, since it's not the name of the actual podcast, it's just the name of a branch of it, are you cool with this? Or do you have something to contribute? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. And now, Pete, before we jump in, you listened to the Spoopy episode.
Yeah, I
You
did.
liked it. You know, it's behind me. I still got the Spoopy background going because I hope everybody has a happy Halloween. If you're listening to this on Saturday, enjoy yourselves. Trick or treat. Be fucking safe. But enjoy yourself. It's Halloween. What were your thoughts on our Spoopy episode?
You know what, Ryan? I'm glad you brought that up. Because, I was going to, talk about this. No, I thought you guys did a great job. I'm glad that, I was not on it because I would not be able to contribute to probably, 85% of the episode. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I did hear the part where, Ryan, you and Dan mentioned if you guys wanted to watch any type of scary movie, I was totally out.
Yes.
And chickened out, which is 100% factual.
Yeah.
So, so I'm glad I wasn't part of that part of the episode. But for the last part, for the candy, though, I just wanted to defend Ryan a little bit, because, some of the choices that the older gentleman of this podcast had
fucking boomers
were a bit questionable to say the least here. Honestly, Almond Joy, Jesus Christ, when do you take your dentures out? Oh my God. First of all, with Almond Joy, oh my God. I was driving listening to it. I was like, you can't be serious. Almond Joy, that was an option.
It's so good.
And how hyped that BK got when Mike said it. They got so hard from this. I was like, bro.
I ordered a bag today. Oh
my God.
You sick fuck.
Yeah, would they give that shit away?
No, but the Whoppers were on clearance.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Well, hey, we all can agree on that. That's like hating the Cowboys. We can all agree Whoppers suck. Okay? They are just a terrible candy. But I did want to contribute my part of my top 5 candy. that I would want on Halloween. So number 1, I have Twix. Number 2 is Snickers. 3 is Skittles. 4 Kit Kat, and 5 Milky Way.
Yeah,
that's my 5.
Snickers and Milky Way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, I did listen to BK your part when you're talking about the Snickers to Ryan, like with the Milky Way, just like not having it. I still like Milky Way, but no, Snickers. I mean, Snickers is just fantastic. I mean, just Snickers is just so good. But Snickers, I mean, God. And Ryan, I think you brought this up. I mean, if you get those ice cream bars or Snickers, oh my God, is that good? Oh,
is that the best candied ice cream bar? Like, of all the ones that exist, I think it is too.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried the Twix one. It's just not the same.
No,
it's just it doesn't have it, and I don't know what it is. If it's just maybe it's just the nuts that are in them, because I mean, basically, I mean that's really the main difference. Well, you got like the little like cookie part.
Yeah, the Twix is got that cookie in there.
Yeah, and that probably makes the consistency weird.
Yeah,
like when it's cold. So, but then I did ask Molly for hers. So I got Molly's top 5 there as well. Now, just to let the people know, Molly does have a peanut allergy, so she can't have Snickers. But she's told me numerous times that she thinks she would like Snickers.
Okay.
So let's just consider that when we put in a top 5.
Okay.
Like she said that she's always probably wanted to have a Snickers. She's like, that looks so good. And I was like, yeah, I know. It is really good.
Didn't she also have the Lizzie McGuire movie in her Disney like top 5 or something?
BK, that's a completely different segment. We don't need to discuss what her segment was of the Disney movies.
Oh, no, that's
those were highly questionable. Yeah, obviously she's wrong on that. But, sometimes she's right, and they might be this. So, her top 5, number 1, she has Kit Kat. 2 is Twix. 3 is M&M's, the original.
Solid choice.
And then 4 is Twizzlers. And then 5 was Three Musketeers.
Ooh, I really like Three Musketeers too, because only in small doses because they are super fluffy. But the Twizzler, that's a good fucking pick because you don't think about Twizzlers.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, if I have one of those like I don't know, the like Twizzler pieces things, like if you get one of those like on a car ride, oh god, I mean that's just it's done. Like I'm gonna finish that thing.
I was also thinking of Tootsie Pops, man. That's another solid one.
Ooh. That'd be another good one.
Yeah.
That's the reason I asked this in the beginning was because I knew Mike only listens to so much and I wanted him to hear Pete rip the fuck out of Almond Joys. That's what it was. So fuck you, Mike. I'm just kidding. Thanks for listening. Love you. See you on Weebisodes on Sunday. Let's dive into some sports stuff. Let's start with the NHL. Not a lot going on, but the fact that the Dallas Stars got new uniforms and they're sick as fuck. They're super cool. I'm actually really big into them. See if I can pull this up. Can I pull this up on here while we do this? Let's see. First, Pete, what are your thoughts on the jerseys?
I mean, they look fantastic. I mean, those things are banging. I felt like the Stars already had like cool. I mean, I'm a huge, I like the color green, and my sweatshirt happens to be basically the green that the Stars have. So obviously I'm a huge fan of that color. So I already thought their color like scheme was great, but you're adding this as like a third alternate jersey. This is badass. I mean, this thing is gonna pop, especially on the ice. It's gonna be sweet.
So right now on the show on the YouTube, when you go back and look at it, I'm showing the jersey. It's pretty fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie. The black with the green, the neon, it's fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty dope. All right, back to this. All right, BK, you think they're cool?
Oh, they're fantastic. Well, they got the neon green like perfect. Like, I don't think the Seahawks have ever gotten neon green like perfect. It's been okay. It's been hit or miss. This is a hit, no doubt. This neon green is just perfect, and I love the little like the little dots in the actual numbers themselves of like green on the black and everything like that. That's like I think that's like a really nice touch, and it's just two-tone. I like it. It's like just more simple that way. It's like, hey, we got this neon green on black. It just really pops. it'll probably be the best uniform next year. Let's just be real.
Your point about the Seahawks is good, but I think that the reason why they get it wrong and why Dallas gets it right, to the credit, is because it's black. Neon green goes very well with black. It's very hard to go with the other Seattle Seahawks colors.
Yeah.
Like when you try to accent the neon green or you try to make it too much neon green, it gets all fucked up. So,
yep.
And I'm colorblind, so I couldn't. I'm just talking out my ass, but it looks cool. It looks cool. Let's get some soccer updates. So BK, take us to the pitch.
So, Arsenal director of football, Huss Fahmy, steps down. It's not completely unsurprising there. Gosh, I can't talk. I'll just say not surprising, as he was part of the old guard. So he's kind of, it's a mutual parting of the ways. Once Arsenal hired Mikel Arteta, the new manager, to kind of come in, there's been a shift in the front office. And then they brought in Edu. He's a new director of scouting and everything like that, and recruiting. They've also let a lot of the whole scouting network go. A lot of that had to do with COVID and everything, and a lot of the lower tier leagues weren't playing, like you saw, like here for baseball in America. So they let a lot of the scouting go, and they're going to redo it supposedly for next year. Hopefully some of those guys get that brought back on. In terms of scores, Wolves did beat Crystal Palace tonight 2-0. Arsenal plays Man U on Sunday, big game of both teams from the top 6. Arsenal's currently sitting 11th, and Man U is sitting in 15th. That is both out of 20. It's still very early in the year, but if either team takes a loss here, that will be detrimental. It's not going to be good going forward, and that game is going to be at Old Trafford. It's going to be at Man U. And Arsenal have not won there in a Premier League game since it was the 90s. So it's been a while. I think it might even been the late 80s. So, but that's pretty much it for the Arsenal news. We want to keep it short and sweet. Maybe we'll do more the next sports show.
If more comes up. On an NBA side, there's not a lot of concrete going on right now, really stuff, right? It's the fact that they don't know when the season's going to start yet. That's where we're at. It's either going to start, rumor was December 23rd, which I think is the best. You start right before Christmas. You still get Christmas basketball, which is what everybody fucking wants. You're not really competing with anything besides the NFL on Sundays. That's probably the best time to go back. The other option is Martin Luther King Day. I understand why the players want that. I get the significance of the day. If that happens, the rumor is that they probably would only get a 50-something game schedule in. That's going to be tight. Let's see what happens. I don't know. That's why I didn't even bring it up, or I didn't even put it in here to discuss, because there's more sports news to go over, and I wanted to wait until we actually get a set date. So let's start baseball. First off, congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers on winning the World Series. Not very many people were shocked by that. They're the best team all season. They had such a great year on this short schedule. Mookie Betts is such a great piece for that team. Perfect. I'm sure Boston Red Sox fans are just like, fuck, this sucks. But the interesting part here was that Justin Turner was pulled during the game, I think in the 6th or 7th, because he tested positive for COVID. Then he went back out, hung out with his teammates. He's right next to Dave Robertson, who I'm pretty sure, right? Didn't he get diagnosed a few years back with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma? Pretty sure. And then Magic Johnson. Fuck. Yeah, my God. No mask for Justin Turner until later on. He's touching the trophy. Fuck, man. That's a bad look. So I'll start with you there, Pete. Your thoughts on, well, I guess, obviously Dodgers won the World Series, woo. But Justin Turner being out there after testing positive for COVID, and the fact that the Dodgers and everybody were like, no, fuck it, let him out here.
Well, the MLB, let's just be honest. They fucked us up massively. This looked terrible. First of all, this was Turner's second positive that he had, because he had it the day before. They thought it was a false positive. Then they get another test, and then somehow the MLB doesn't get results until the 6th or 7th inning. That's what you get if you're the MLB. And also, how does he even get COVID?
Yeah, you're in the bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, clearly the bubble didn't work. So, the MLB, and BK and I were, briefly talking about this on the pre-show, but, I think what the MLB just did is it was a false positive. Let's just hope to God that it's just a false positive, and just let them play. Because could you imagine, you have Game 6 of the World Series, Dodgers are about to clinch, they're on Tuesday morning, and then you get one of their best players, their number 3 hitter, test positive for COVID. Do you know how bad that looks for baseball? But you know what Manfred says? You know what? Let's just, it's probably a false positive. Push him through, and then guess what? He has it, And then you know what? Let's just have him on the field. You know what? Let's just have him take a picture of everyone, take that mask off. Just do it up with your teammates. Who cares? Just spit on him for God's sakes. I mean, like, how? If you're MLB, do you have Justin Turner on that field? Like, you cannot get security and tell, hey, Justin, we don't want to make this ugly, but you got to get out of here. Like, this looks so bad for us. Like, and it was just, and also Manfred. God, can Manfred even talk, for God's sakes? Jesus Christ. Like, when he was talking, oh my God. So, yeah, everybody was making fun of MLB the way they handled this a few months ago. And then this was just the cherry on top for the 2020 MLB season by Rob Manfred. This was just, and you feel bad for the Dodgers. And you blame Justin Turner, but you also blame the MLB. Like, this should have never gotten to this point. If he tests positive, get him out of there. What are you doing?
Yeah. 100%.
Makes no sense.
You made the perfect point. That's the cherry on top. That's the way the MLB season was supposed to end. Just fucked up, just like it started. BK, what's your thoughts here?
Well, I partially blame Justin Turner, but I also don't blame him because I was telling P2 in the pre-show is that, like, I feel like it's almost like when a football player or, like, hockey player gets a concussion, especially it's the World Series, it's Game 6, and he's going to want to play, like, no matter what. Like, he could be missing an arm, and he'll want to go play. So, like, I blame the MLB because I think they were trying to, like say, oh, hope it's a false positive, and they were like, it's Game 6. Like, we're at the end. Try to get through this. And they don't want to
don't breathe.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to mess up with, like, the TV schedules and everything like that because they probably want to push it closer to get to, if it got pushed to the weekend or something like that to compete with more football. Like, no, they wanted to avoid that. So I think that's part of the problem. Then the management for the Dodgers and everyone, Roberts, like, they're all to blame, and the team doctors and all that, because they let him play. They let it go on. They had to, I imagine they have to have known as well, the team physician, everything. So I blame them, the people above them more than anyone else, because they're getting paid more. They get paid more to make those hard decisions and to be more responsible than he is. And they did not do that, and they let down Justin Turner. They let down the MLB. But, I mean, will we even talk about this in a few months, or will this be swept under the rug?
No, I'm going to honestly probably forget about it in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Because free agency begins, and I'm hey, it's fine. Okay, it happened. But I agree with you. Yeah, I think everybody's at fault there. Some more than others. Definitely the higher-ups, the team doctor, the MLB, Roberts. They're at more fault than Justin Turner. But at the end of the day, they're all at fault. That's very, very, very shitty. My rant will come at the end of the MLB section. We're gonna save that there. The Indians declined the options on Carlos Santana and Brad Hand. Pete, you said you were surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more surprised by Hand. Hand, I mean, he's making. I guess it is a lot for a closer, but I mean, his option was $10 million. So I know that's a lot of money, but he also led. And I mean, say what you want about a shortened season, but he led baseball in saves.
Yeah.
So, he's done it before. I know they have a couple arms that they really like in their bullpen. I can't say the dude's name. It's 99. He thinks he's Wild Thing, but he's not because he got shelled against the Yankees. But they think that he's going to be their closer. Karachek, that's it. So I think that they think that he's going to be that closer and he's going to move into that role. I don't know if he's ready for that. And then the Santana thing, that is a lot of money. I think it was like $17.5 million was his option. So, I mean, Santana's only really had his success here in Cleveland. So I think they'll work on a deal together because when he went to Philly and Seattle, he was not very good. So I think they'll work on that. But it was just kind of shocking. And maybe this is ramifications, and a lot of teams are going to do this around baseball, and it's due to COVID.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't have the revenue that you had this past year, and you're not going to have the future revenue, or, you don't know when that future
your
revenue
salary structure is going to change. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so I think that's what it has to do with too. Not only the higher salary, but yeah, due to COVID.
What about the Cubs parting ways with John Lester?
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I think that this is going to happen even if it wasn't, even if there wasn't COVID. I think the Cubs would have declined this maybe option and reworked something, maybe on a shorter term, maybe 2 or 3 year deal. Yeah, I mean, it's either Lester's, they're gonna try to bring him back on a lesser price tag, or I don't know, maybe he goes to contending team. I know he's from the South. I think he's from Georgia, so maybe he goes to the Braves, on a cheaper deal or something like that. But no, it's very murky. They're in the Cubs kind of starting staff situation. So I mean, it starts with John Lester. What are they going to do with him?
Yeah, 100%. 100% BK over there for the Orioles. You're having a little bit of a pension fraud issue.
Yeah, Mike Elias, GM for the Orioles, is being investigated for pension fraud. His buddy that he brought with from the Astros, Chris Holt, was a minor league pitching instructor who was not eligible for those benefits, but he made him eligible, signed off on it and everything like that. So he's currently being investigated. So who knows if he'll still be the GM for the Orioles next year. There hasn't been any other news or updates since this story has come out just about a week ago now. So I imagine we'll probably hear something in the next week or so. I think the MLB and probably the Orioles were like, all right, let's just try to – we don't want to interrupt the news cycle before the World Series. I think that was a whole thing by the MLB. Is like, all right, nope, don't talk about this bad stuff. Like, keep it down low.
Yeah, no, I get that's usually why everybody has to wait for their coaching changes and everything else on top of that. You don't want to fuck with the news. You want the focus to be on the World Series. So now it's my time. So hold on. All right, I'm gonna need that. All right, so the White Sox did what I didn't fucking think they were gonna do. Something that is inexcusable for me. They hired their manager. No, it wasn't AJ Hinch. He's with the Tigers. No, it wasn't Alex Cora. He's probably going to go back to the Red Sox. No, it wasn't even Bruce fucking Bochy. No. It is Tony fucking La Russa, who has not managed since 2011. It's almost 10 years ago. Used to manage for the Sox, I think, back in 76, 79 to 86, 79 to 86. Before he was fired by Hawk Harrelson, which, God, that's weird. What the fuck is Hawk Harrelson a GM? Anyway, we don't have to get in all the fucked up past there for the Sox. Listen, the knee-jerk reaction yesterday was this fucking team. I mean, you are coming off of, that is the most, the sexiest job right now is the Chicago White Sox. That is so weird to say. It bothers me to say it, but it's the truth. Because they're coming off of a season where they got into the postseason. They were the hottest team in baseball at one point. They almost took out the Athletics to move on to the second round. They have such a young core that's locked up for 5 to 10 years, almost all of them. I think besides Giolito, but I think that gets worked on this offseason. And it's like you have these guys. Baseball, the thing with Tony La Russa is I don't think his old school mentality fits in this day and age of baseball, right? You have Tim fucking Anderson on this team who plays fun, right? That's what they're all about. That's what this whole fucking team is about. The White Sox are the modern day baseball team now, where it's a lot of energy and you're just going out there and having fun and the bat flips and all the other shit that they do. You're telling me that you hired the guy that's the exact fucking opposite of all that? This is Jerry fucking Reinsdorf fucking this whole situation up. Had his hand all in that honey jar for no fucking reason. Because the presser yesterday after this, Rick Hahn looked so fucking uncomfortable. He looked like he was just like, yeah, I gotta try and sweep this under. I gotta try and stay face here, but it wasn't his decision. It was Jerry's. Jeff Passan from ESPN wrote about it that, like, AJ Hinch, they talked to him, and he was very much interested in the job. That was, to me, the guy. That was easily, like, this is a no-brainer. Go get AJ Hinch. There's mutual interest. Let's just do this. And for Sox fans that were going to bitch about him being a part of a cheating team, fuck you. Just stop. I don't want to hear it. But as soon as Jerry got involved, there was no hope. It was only going to be Tony La Russa because Jerry Reinsdorf is old, probably going to die soon, and he is like trying to make up for all of his mistakes. It's the same fucking reason that Harold Baines, God bless him, got into the fucking Hall of Fame. Because Harold Baines' numbers are mediocre. I'm sorry. They are average. Average doesn't get you to the Hall of Fame. But Jerry Reinsdorf was on that fucking committee, and Tony fucking La Russa is on that committee. And this is the bullshit Pete knows because he's a Bulls fan. This is the bullshit that we fucking deal with Jerry Reinsdorf. It's the same fucking reason that Soldier Field doesn't have a fucking enclosed roof. Because Jerry Reinsdorf is a piece of shit. And he blocked it because he thought it would take away revenue from the United Center. I fucking hate Jerry Reinsdorf with a passion. And besides all those angry feelings, I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, here's the deal. Yes, there's the side of, wow, this might have set the White Sox back. That's not good. I hope it didn't. I hope the talent's good enough to avoid that. Someone said, well, no matter what, you're not going to get outmanaged. It's Tony La Russa. I don't know, he might be napping. The fuck? Can't play night games anymore because it's past his fucking bedtime. For Christ's sakes. But Tony La Russa is a Hall of Famer. I talked about this on Natty Nights because I think it's very telling. I was at the Hall of Fame ceremony when Tony La Russa got in. It was Tony La Russa, Frank Thomas, Bobby Cox, Tommy Glavine, and I think Greg Maddux. I think they all went in at the same time. And yeah, they did. That's why my grandpa went, because of Maddux. Tony La Russa's, here's the thing, right? Going into the Hall of Fame. It's a big deal. Big deal. His kids didn't even come. They were busy. That's what he said during his presser. It was so awkward. I was like, your kids are busy for your getting into the Hall of Fame? I think that's very telling of the type of person Tony La Russa is. That's all. Some of the things he said back in 2016 about the whole players protesting, and then he tried to backtrack on that yesterday. I mean, good on him. He had to. Fucking Christ. I mean, you have a lineup. You have an entire roster of players that are minorities. Like, they're either African American or they're Cuban, or, you know what I mean? You don't have a lot of white males on that team. So what the fuck? And then you didn't even talk to the players before this. Tony La Russa hasn't talked about it. He only mentioned Tim Anderson. And then he's naming off fucking like Reggie Jackson and fucking Robin Ventura, who, to Josh's point on Natty Nights, if you're older or younger than like 25 years old, you're sitting there like, what? You're not helping with the youth of the baseball needs. This is stupid. It's fucking stupid. But at the end of the day, I got to ride with them. That's my team. I hope the Sox can make some big signings this offseason. I don't know how this La Russa signing affects them. If that fucks us out of some signings, is going to piss me off. Because this team's right there. I feel like they just need a couple pieces, and they're going to be a very good contending team for years to come. Hopefully, this works out. Hey, man, La Russa, I could be sitting here next year at this time, and La Russa and the White Sox win a World Series, and it is what it is. And then I hope he dips. He did it. Dip. Get the fuck out, and let's continue on somebody that's going to be able to actually last. At this point, Tony La Russa is so old, he shouldn't be a coach. He should be running for president. That's fucking stupid.
Nice.
Thanks.
That was good.
Fucking mad, dude. Oh, my God. Anybody else want to chime in on Tony La Russa?
Well, I'll chime in. Ryan, I just don't want you to hold back. I feel like you're
holding
back too much. I just feel like you're holding back too much, man. We want to get your real opinion on it. But no, I mean the La Russa, I mean it is shocking. It is, but I mean you're 100% right. This is a Jerry move. And it's very shocking to me. Well, no, it's not. But I mean, when you think of it, like from a Jerry Reinsdorf stepping in, it makes sense. But then when you think of how good of a job Rick Hahn has done,
yes,
why can't you just trust him to like hire you a good manager? And you nailed it on the head. This is the sexiest job. Come on, AJ Hinch don't want to go to Detroit. Like, come on. If he has an option, like, he's gonna take the White Sox job, 100 times out of 100 over the Tigers job. So like, this is an intriguing job. I mean, it is going to be interesting to see. I mean, because the thing with Tony La Russa, and as a Cub fan, I've always hated him. But, I mean, that's because, they always destroyed us because they were always the big brother when he was with the Cardinals. But he's always been a winner. But the thing is, that was like 10 years ago when he managed. And the last time he won, like, Manager of the Year was 20 years ago. So who knows what this is going to be. This reminds me, honestly, of when the Cubs brought in Lou Piniella.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, you know what? Let's bring in Lou Piniella. Like, and it worked at the beginning. It really did. But then, like, it really showed the age difference. Later on when it came to the postseason, came to making adjustments, it was just I'm very, and I know that it's just the LaRussa thing. Like, I thought it was just smoke. It was like, oh,
Yep.
bring back LaRussa, yeah, whatever. And then no, they just hired him, and I was like, this man's been out of a job for 9 years, like as a manager.
Reinsdorf called him,
Like,
being
what?
like, "Dude, come back and take this job." Russo wasn't even fucking interested. He didn't want to manage.
You should not have to sell this job to anyone. People should be knocking at the door to want this job.
I'm gonna tell you
It
what
makes
this
no
is.
sense.
I'm gonna tell you what this is because Reinsdorf, obviously, in case you didn't know, he owns the Bulls and the Sox. This is what this is. He had to make a tough decision with the Bulls. He had to get rid of Garpax. So he's like, fuck. All right, I can't let both fucking teams like be like fucking relevant. Hold on, I gotta change this shit up. I'm gonna let the Bulls do their thing now. Sox, this is my call. Let me fuck this up a little bit. God damn it, dude. BK, you're on the outside there, but
Yeah.
he's fucking old.
Yeah, well, I was just looking up something here, and I saw that AJ Hinch was technically never interviewed for the position, and that they also sent out
It's his
in the
signature.
email announcement. AJ Hinch's signature for the Tony
Because
LaRussa
everyone
announcement. I was like,
knew.
that's great.
Like,
That's pretty funny.
Let me show you what this is gonna look like all season on the bench. This is Tony LaRussa. Fucking
Napping.
sleeping. God
Napping out,
fucking
man.
damn it.
All the podcast listeners there, he put his hat forward and he pulled it down over his eyes and his nose, and he just started sleeping like
That's
a
Tony
little baby.
LaRussa. That's the 7:05 Central Time
Wait.
starts. Those are gonna fuck him up.
yeah, so if you're Tony, then all right. So for day games, you'll probably be fine because you can have dinner probably at 4:30.
Yeah.
So
Early bird special.
so he'll hit dinner at 4:30. So you
Sounds
get
nice.
the 7:05 start. He might make the first 2 or 3 innings, but by 8 o'clock, that man should be in bed. Like, that man needs, So like the big thing for Tony is like who's going to be your like who you going to have as the backup. Like who's going to be your Nick Foles?
They
Like
have
who's going to be your guy to come in, man?
his name is escaping me. Let's see if I can find it while I look this up. But Tony LaRussa, because they have a guy in their farm system, someone that I guess a lot of people believe that he could be groomed to be the next guy up for the White Sox. I cannot remember his fucking name. Let's see if I remember.
Was this a total overhaul? Like, are they bringing back any coaches?
Their hitting
Like, is
coach,
Tony keeping anyone?
Dave Roberts is still there. I think he'll stay, because again, you have to.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Where the pitching coach goes, that's going to be also a weird one. And that to me it's just, I don't fucking know, man. This is so bad. I'm so upset. So upset. And like Josh called it earlier on Daddy Night. So that whole presser yesterday was just smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors trying to, because they had to have known. I mean, the social media just like destroyed them. Just completely ripped them. I watched Sarah Spain on Around the Horn. Shout out to her. Because she went off on the White Sox getting Tony LaRussa. And she's a Cub fan. And like...
Yeah, she's a Chicago native.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
funny.
fuck yeah. Yeah, because she's right. This is a terrible, terrible move. Like I said, as a White Sox fan, I hope it doesn't set us back. I hope we're still good next year, make the right moves, and contend for our World Series. But Jesus Christ. And then my big thing is, they haven't announced like what the structure of the deal is, how much, how long. I hope it's like 2 years dip after one. If it, you know what I mean?
Well, if you're Tony, why would you take that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if like, it's got to be at least 3.
Jerry's
I
like,
think it's
part
I
ownership,
think it's
bro.
3 to 4. Like, maybe I don't know.
I would have been fine. My whole thought process was they're talking to Tony because they want him to actually be an advisor, which is fine. Whatever, fuck it. I don't care. He didn't do a great job doing that for Arizona, but like, fuck it, whatever. But they really did it, and I will tell you, after a season where the Sox surprised me in good ways so many times, They're like, you think you're getting out of 2020 without us fucking you too? Come on. Let's be real. So fuck it. Here it is. It's very upsetting. Also upsetting to the college football side. Trevor Lawrence has the COVID, man. He's got the COVID. He's not playing this week against Boston College. I took Boston College in the upset. We'll see if that pays off. Yeah, probably. But will he play against Notre Dame, Pete?
Oh, hey, I'm telling you, this. I mean, not trying to make this corny, but they're definitely praying there in South Bend. They are praying hardcore for this dude to recover from COVID.
Doing a bunch of Hail Marys.
November. What are we looking at date wise? We are hoping. They're hoping for November 8th. He will recover from COVID because that game on November 7th. They do not want him playing. They're in South Bend, Indiana.
No.
So they are hoping to God that is not going to happen. But I mean, he'll be back. I mean, they'll find a way. But I mean, it's just this. I mean, Clemson's a well-oiled machine, so they should be fine this week. But yeah, that's the bigger question: is Notre Dame, will he be ready? And thoughts and prayers to Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully, he recovers and everything's all right.
T's and P's.
Yeah.
BK, my question to you: is Trevor Lawrence going to stay at Clemson?
See, because earlier in the year he said he was going to leave, and I was like believing him because he was going to be number 1 overall pick, like easy. But with this happening, I don't know. I still think he's going to leave just because he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Maybe he doesn't want to be because he doesn't want to play for like the Giants.
He doesn't want to play for the Jets.
Either one, yeah. So Jaguars are going to be in the mix too. They're going to be looking for a quarterback. If you're Justin Fields, you're probably rooting for Trevor Lawrence to stay. So then you get the number 1 overall pick. You get that little extra money. But I also think that Justin Fields, very solid quarterback. Someone's getting a good quarterback there. I don't like Ohio State, but damn, he looks good.
He's good.
Looks real good.
He's good. My thing with Trevor Lawrence, before even the COVID thing was, I was like, I don't think he wants to be a Jet. I think this is where the worry comes in. Because it's one thing, I think, to go to Jacksonville. It's one thing, I mean, the Giants, but I think they like Daniel Jones. It's one thing to go to, like, those type of teams. But this fucking Jets organization is a goddamn disgrace. It is bad from top to bottom. They don't know what they're doing. And that is something that will kill a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, who looks to be this great talent. Justin Fields also looks really good. But, my God, I hope they fuck it up and they just take Trey Lance. Fuck it. Poor guy.
Oh, my God.
Like, look at Sam Darnold, who's arguably on the trade block, right now. Might not be with the Jets next year. I could see it. The first step for them is they have to get rid of Adam Gase.
Yes.
Honestly, they haven't had a good head coach, Rex Ryan. I don't even think Rex Ryan was I don't think great head coach is probably pushing it too far. He was a good head coach. Great, if not awesome, amazing D coordinator. Good to okay head coach. I think the number 1 problem is Adam Gase. You have to get rid of him. Just seriously, just fire him now. I don't care if it's like halfway. Just get rid of that joke of a coach. Like, oh my gosh, the offense is anemic, and just it's so bad. Especially for a guy who's supposed to be an offensive mind, and they're like in the bottom of the league for offensive like efficiency and everything like that. And you look at all the players under his tutelage that have had success elsewhere. It's just bye. Let him go now.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the only quarterback that played well with Adam Gase, well, Peyton Manning, but fuck that. He was going to play good with anybody, was Jay Cutler. Honestly. That's it.
Yeah, Jay Cutler.
Because look at Ryan Tannehill. Balling. Fucking balling
Stud.
in Tennessee. Yeah.
Stud.
Yep.
It is wild. Also, with, Pete, do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to stay?
No, he leaves. I think he leaves. He's going to be the first overall pick. But, there's just too much money. What is he going to have to prove at Clemson? I get it that the Jets, are a train wreck of an organization. But, if he's okay, so say hypothetically, he stays at Clemson. Do the Jets really get that much better next year?
True.
Like, I mean, so the Jets are probably going to suck for a while. Let's just be honest.
Does he Eli it?
But, oh God, I mean, he might. Maybe he does that because, maybe he does that. Honestly, and he just says, "No, I'm not going."
Jags or something.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm not going."
The Jags have picks, so the Jags have a lot of first round, second round draft picks. Like they can make something.
What if the Colts do it? Colts say screw.
Yep. If you're the Colts, you absolutely do that. If you're the Colts, you absolutely do that.
And hope he doesn't retire.
Yeah, well, because Phil Rivers did sign a 2-year contract, but he can retire. But and you just convince Phil Rivers, hey, stay one more year, have Trevor learn underneath Phil, because Phil Rivers, he's better than Eli Manning. He has better stats. He just wasn't on arguably not as good of teams, pretty good teams. But professional, Phil's a professional. He's been doing it a long time, and not to mention, Phil Rivers is a tough son of a bitch. The guy is freaking tough. And you sit Trevor behind him for a year, and then the Colts are set up perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the move there. But I mean, going back to BK's point when he brought up Justin Fields, I honestly think Justin Fields will be a better pro than Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is very good. But I think Justin Fields in today's NFL, I think he is going to fit a lot better. But I mean, if Trevor does end up in Indy, though, that's a good spot for him. I mean, you got a great defense, you got a great offensive line, and you got really good running backs. So that is the perfect spot for him to go. The Jets are stupid, so they won't do it because there's so many things that the Jets need that they should just take all the draft capital that the Colts would give them because they need as many picks as possible. You got to rebuild the crap out of this thing. You got to do what the Browns did 4 or 5 years ago when they had 1,000 draft picks.
Yeah.
And that's what you just got to do. You got to, because the team's terrible. Nobody wants to play there. It's a dumpster fire, there with the Jets. But if you're Trevor Lawrence, it's got to be tough for him to just say, no, I'll just, stay here at college for a year. But that Jets organization is just bad. So maybe he does the Eli. That's a good point. Maybe he does that and just says, hell with it. I'm not going to the Jets.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to the Jets either. I just wouldn't. I think that's just it's a bad team. Speaking of bad, 1 week into the Big Ten football season, this is why I talked about how they gave themselves no wiggle room. If anything happens, the Big Ten kind of fucked themselves, and we're already seeing it. 1 week in, Wisconsin does smash Illinois, but they got the COVID. So who's the real loser here, motherfuckers? But Wisconsin deeply infected with some COVID, including their head coach and their quarterback. The game this weekend against Nebraska was canceled, not postponed, not rescheduled, canceled. So 1 week in, Pete, and Big Ten's already got COVID. Where are we at?
Who could have saw this coming? You know what? What's his name? Something Warren. Oh, Kevin Warren. You know what? You're an idiot. There was no way that this was going to be foolproof. The SEC couldn't figure it out. The ACC couldn't. They built in those extra, weeks and whatever that it was going to be, we have a contingency plan. The Big Ten set this up for failure, and guess what? It failed. You're going to have college kids, try to be as responsible as possible, but you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds. Yeah. Come on. What'd you think was going to happen? Jesus Christ. This looks so bad there for the Big Ten. And you know what? I am here in Cleveland, so I'm in basically Ohio State country. You know what? Screw the Buckeyes. I hope this messes them up. I just don't care. Whatever.
Mac attack, baby. Let's go Mac.
Whatever. Max and baby coming back. Yeah. November.
Well, Maryland and Minnesota still played tonight. Maryland won an OT.
Maryland won?
Wait, Maryland won?
45-44. Jake Funk untouched for game-tying TDs. Maryland wins an OT.
Wow.
They are not rowing the boat there in Minneapolis.
No.
Oh, man.
Future Bear quarterback Tanner Rourke. Looking rough out there. Right.
Oh.
Yeah, not good.
Oh.
BK, what about the COVID up in the Big Ten?
Oh, just it was interesting coming into the year because all right, like the ACC has some like really good schools. Like there's this one school called like Duke. It's a private school. They got a lot of smart people. Costs a lot of money to go there. You gotta have gotta be very very smart to get in there.
Or very good at basketball.
And they had a virologist who was heading up all of this from Duke, heading up all of it for the ACC, and he literally said in his like study, he was like, "Look, there's no way you can make it like foolproof. Like things are gonna happen, but you kind of have to like plow ahead. Like that's just like if you want to play sports, like this is what it's just gonna happen, and it's just gonna be a reality, and you have to like get used to that." And so the ACC kind of embraced it, and so did the SEC, so the American Conference. There, gotta give a shout out to ECU. It's currently up. Got it 20-10 right now. ECU over the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Go Pirates. Arg. Purple. Gold. All right. Back to it. Gotta represent.
That's right.
You have to build in those weeks of where there's just going to be chicanery. There's going to be fuckery. There's going to be buffoonery. Things are going to happen. So, and when the Big Ten just pushed everything back, it was just dumb. But, if it kind of screws Ohio State, like, we all win. So
in that way, you are correct. You are correct.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad all around for the Big Ten. Kind of, I knew it. I knew it. There was no way. I mean, to just live in this false hope where, no, we're gonna go fine. We're gonna run through these 8 weeks. Nothing's gonna happen. One weekend, boom. Fuck your season. That's basically how that went down. That is rough.
Well, yeah, and then for the Big Ten, I know we just talked about with Ohio State. I mean, this was honestly, this was the only thing the Big Ten had going for it. Big Ten was Ohio State to go 8-0. Let's just be honest. Like the rest of the conference, it was really not for anyone else. Like this was all just to get them in the playoff. Let's just be honest. I mean, this is what the Big Ten season was.
Garbage. Speaking of ECU, BK, they made some cuts across the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did a lot of cuts. I gotta open up the article because I want to quote the exact numbers and everything like that. So hold on real quick. All right, so football and men's basketball head coaches will have their base salaries temporarily reduced by 20%. Baseball and women's basketball head coaches, 15%. Coaching and staff members making more than 100K, 12%. Coach staff makers less than anywhere from 50 to 99, 10%. Staff members 50 and below, they get furloughed for 12 days, and a group of employees will be on extended furlough that can last from anywhere from 6 to 35 weeks. So you're seeing a lot of these things happen. Like, ECU is not a big college, program. We're not Illinois. We're not in a Power 5 conference. So you're going to see more of this coming. And I just saw across the ticker on the ECU game there that Orgeron and coaching staffs are taking pay cuts as well. That's LSU.
Wow.
That's their SEC. It's a big time program. They just won the national championship last year. They got plenty of money. It's a little. It's sad, but it's the reality. It's not a good time to be working in sports. I think P2 and myself are very fortunate to not be in that line of work right now. But my thoughts do go out to all the ECU employees and other employees at other universities that have been affected by COVID and everything like that. I hope they land on their feet and hopefully they get back to work soon.
Yeah.
Because I think we all can agree that this has been suck. It's been shitty.
Yes, it has. Pete, anything on that before we move on?
No, it's just sad. I mean, it's the outlook of it. I mean, I was affected with my job, due to, furloughs and COVID and everything. And I was lucky enough to, find another job where I just basically work from home now. So that's pretty sweet. But, I mean, no, it is sad. I mean, BK and I are very lucky where we got out of sports basically, sadly and unfortunately for everyone else. I mean, at the right time, because, we would be, in the same boat. So it's just sad because, you're going to see cutoffs. Here in college football, I know a ton of the Cubs developmental staff got cut too, when it came into the scouting department. And I know it's been across the board. So, yeah, it's a sad trend, but that's just, the sad 2020 we live in right now.
100%. 100%. All right, boys, let's move on to the NFL. The meats and potatoes. Even though we are already this far in, but this is actually really the meats and potatoes of the show. Besides my La Russa rant. Whew. So last week, we'll go over some of the games last week right here. The Browns beat the Bengals. I love that it has here Baker plays awesome because yes, he did. Yes, he did, except for the beginning of that game. Beginning of that game was bad. And then Baker turned it around, had a near perfect second half. Damn. Did they turn around? But he did lose OBJ. Pete, where are the Browns at right now?
Well, I mean, the Browns play well against bad teams, and they play bad against good teams. I mean, that's just basically the Browns. But I mean, that's what happens with young teams. They got to learn how to win, against better teams. Baker played great. It is kind of unfortunate because he does look a lot better when OBJ's not there. And I don't know if it's just like he just like sees him and it's like I just got to force it to him. I don't know if it's that. Or maybe it was just the Bengals defense because they are atrocious. Yeah. So it might be a lot of that. But, I mean, Baker played great. I mean, there were a lot of people in Cleveland, mostly the Brady family, that were very, very low on Baker last week and just saying, oh, put in Keenum, Baker's terrible. Let's just calm down. They played Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh does that to everyone. I mean, and everybody's going to look bad, especially when Baker, was playing with some chest injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be tough. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to, especially when you can't run the ball against Pittsburgh when you're one-dimensional. Yeah, that Pittsburgh defense is going to look good. But Baker looked great in this game. Their defense is still a huge question mark. But if the Browns could be like 8-8, 9-7, and somehow, if they can just beat one of the games against Pittsburgh or Baltimore this year, I think it's a success. Because you already beat the Bengals twice. So, hey, and with their schedule, they can win, 8 to 9 games. I don't know. As a Cleveland Brown fan, I don't know how you can be angry about that. I mean, come on. It's the Browns, for God's sakes. What can you complain about?
BK, as a Ravens fan here, where do you see the Browns the rest of the season?
10-6.
Okay.
I say that emphatically. I know we were talking earlier, and especially myself, Adam Gase ruining players. I think Kevin Stefanski has been the best thing for Baker Mayfield. I feel like he's taken a lot of weight off of his chest. And a lot of it helps, like, putting more of it into the running game. And, like, you saw it initially with Kirk Cousins there in Minnesota. Who was the O coordinator? Stefanski. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. Play-action offense a lot of bootlegs, which is good for Baker when he does the bootlegs because he is a little bit shorter. So he can see the field a little bit easier because he's not behind those tall offensive line guys. Makes sense. So am I still super sold on Baker? No. Is he a number 1 overall pick? Probably not. But is he good enough to get you to the dance if the team keeps improving and get you there? Yeah, I could see that. I do disagree with the team being that young though. I mean, Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. have been in the league for years now. Are they really that young? Or is it more are we talking in general, it's the coaching staff and the running backs?
It's got to be, well, they got a young defense,
True.
for the most part. Young defense. But besides OBJ and Jarvis,
Higgins is young.
Yeah, and Higgins is young. And even Hunt's young. And Hunt's like a veteran almost on the team, which is terrifying to think about. But, I mean, the talent's there. They're in Cleveland, and I mean, they play 2 of the top 3 teams in the AFC in their division. So it's a lot of teams look bad against the Ravens and Steelers. So I mean, if you're a Browns fan, you got to be high in this team.
They'll make the playoffs.
Yeah,
they'll make it.
Ooh. Speaking of the AFC North and making the playoffs, the Steelers beat the Titans. They are now the last undefeated team remaining. They are 6-0. BK, are the Steelers the most complete team in the NFL?
I would say yes. I want to see what this defense does, especially this weekend against the Ravens and going forward without Devin Bush, because I do think that is a huge loss for them. So I do want to see because, the Steelers were up early in that game, took their foot off the gas pedal, and the Titans absolutely roared back. Ryan Tannehill is a freaking G. And that was a different game. And Titans would have won, but Gostkowski freaking missed another field goal, so they lost. Because I was watching that game and I was like shocked. So, but yeah, I would say overall the Steelers are probably I would agree with that, most complete team. They're good. They're good. I hate to say it, but man, I walk into work every Monday after I watch the Steelers, and I'm just like, and one of my coworkers is a Steelers fan. I'm just like, man, Greg, they're really fucking good.
Yeah, they are. They are. I would say that the Steelers are very good. The way they were able to contain Derrick Henry for the most part was huge. Pete, where are you at on the Steelers?
Yeah, I mean the Steelers are hot right now. I mean that defense is just so good, and this has got to terrify Kansas City. With that front four, because this is the team that could give them trouble. The only thing I'm worried about with the Steelers is if you're gonna have to beat like a Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, they got to run the ball. I mean, they have to run the football in those games. So if they need to control the clock and be able to do that. So they got to get James Conner going. So if they can run the ball, they're going to be a lot better. Take some pressure off that defense. But, yeah, I mean, they are clicking here right now. And we'll talk about that game later. But that Steelers-Ravens game is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. I just think that the Steelers have done – James Conner is starting to get going, and even Benny Snell when he gets in has looked good. So they need to utilize that a little bit more, especially because Juju was struggling until this recent week. So, but the Steelers, yeah. That's a damn good football team this year. The Bills, who I was all aboard that Josh Allen could be the MVP if it's not Russell Wilson, but boy, are the Bills for real? Are they pretenders, Pete?
Yeah, well, I mean, they sure didn't play like it. I mean, they have 6 field goals in that game?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Came to score a touchdown versus the Jets. The goddamn Jets.
Yeah, and then that's insane. Because, I mean, we looked at the line on the pre-show that, I mean, the Chiefs are favored by more points than the Bills scored against the Jets. That's insane to think about. Like, just think about that. Like, that's how bad the Bills played. They couldn't even score a touchdown against the Jets, and like people think that the Jets are tanking. So I mean, like that's just bad. And this is supposed to be their get right game. I mean, they didn't look good against Kansas City. I get it that it was terrible weather, but hey, Kansas City figured it out. So Jets got a lot of the Bills got a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, a lot of pressures on him. But they're looking very shaky here right now.
BK.
I think you're seeing the pressure and the weight of high expectations. Because I mean, they started off the year just barn burn. I mean, Josh Allen was, that in the early MVP conversation there. And I think you're really seeing that starting to weigh on them. Like, oh, hey, like we're the front dogs in the division. It's not the Patriots. It's like it's clearly like the Bills, and they're really feeling that now. So I think it's just something they have to work through. Because look, good teams are going to have bad days, and you still have to find a way to win. And they did. And I do get the Jets suck, but they. So I don't know.
It's not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit, the Cowboys, boy, it puts a smile on my face to see how bad the fucking Cowboys are. What didn't put a smile on my face is what former Bear John Bostic did to Andy Dalton. That was fucked up. That was a disgusting hit. Poor Andy Dalton, T's and P's. He should be all right, but he is going to be out this week. He's doubtful. Ben DiNucci coming in for the Dallas Cowboys after a loss to the Washington football team. Pete, your former head coach, Mike McCarthy, is he on the hot seat?
Oh, it should be. I mean, the oven should be set at 350. Like, it might be – we might be putting that pizza in at about 425, and we might be firing Mike McCarthy if you're Jerry Jones. It's getting close. I get it that they have injuries. I get it Dak's out. But, they've almost lost. I mean, they've lost the locker room. He brings in Mike Nolan, Mike Nolan. I don't want to bring this up, Ryan, and we'll be quick about this, but it's like bringing in Russa. The dude has not really coached in 7 years.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's bring him in as a defensive coordinator. You know what? Why not? Jesus Christ, McCarthy, what are you doing? I'm like a number one supporter of McCarthy. I loved McCarthy when he was the Packers coach, but the team has looked really, really bad here so far. But God, and it's not going to get any easier. You're starting Ben DiNucci, man. Jesus Christ, it's only probably going to get worse in Dallas.
BK.
I think McCarthy's absolutely on the hot seat, and there's one person who I think should feel absolutely vindicated by all the struggles the Cowboys are having. Jason Garrett. Everyone was giving Jason Garrett a whole bunch of shit last year, deservedly so, but it now looks that well, maybe Jason Garrett was holding this team together. Maybe he's that much of a player's coach. He had the guys kind of bought in, and honestly, maybe these guys aren't that good, and I think a lot of it is the Jones family behind the scenes that are probably not helping with a lot of stuff. McCarthy's another candidate. He's on the hot seat. If they don't kind of somehow pull some wins out of their ass, if Ben DiNucci doesn't pull like a Tom Brady for you, then McCarthy's he's done by the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%. This is not good. I did not anticipate it going this way for the Dallas Cowboys. I thought the Dallas Cowboys coming into the season were probably going to be one of the NFC teams to beat because Dak got hurt, so that kind of fucked it. But I still thought they had enough talent to be able to get through it. I mean, especially when the division's this fucking bad. I mean, you're going to have a 6-10 team win this division.
We all picked the Cowboys to win.
Yeah, we're all wrong.
So we all got that L.
We are all taking the L. That is not good. What is good is the Packers have got it right after their loss to the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
They came out against Houston. Devontae Adams, what a fucking game. Without Aaron Jones, they tore it up. I'll tell you this, Aaron Jones is out again, and let me tell you, Minnesota is without 3 out of their 4 cornerbacks, their top 4 cornerbacks. So will Devontae Adams have a bigger game this week? I don't know, but it's going to be pretty fucking bad. Pete, how you feel about your Packers?
Oh, well, I feel good if I'm Devontae Adams. That's who I feel really good about. If I'm Devontae this week. But no, this was a get-right game. They played like poo-poo against the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed out in this game. They did what they needed to do. It's going to be tough this week for them to play without Aaron Jones. But to BK's point when he was talking about Jason Garrett looking good with the Cowboys situation, how good does Aaron Rodgers maybe look now with having McCarthy maybe as that coach? Whoa, okay. So if Aaron's able to win, with that offense, who knows? They were loaded. I get it on offense at the time, but no, this was a get-right game for the Packers. The defense still, it's a bend but don't break, and you just hope for a turnover or two. But yeah, they played great against Houston. So as a Packer fan, I was pretty stoked about it.
BK, how do you feel about the Packers tearing it up?
Oh, I'm not completely shocked. The Packers looked good last year, and arguably their best player, the past decade, had his worst year statistically. Aaron Rodgers. He looked like he had a bad year. He had a down year for Aaron Rodgers. And they still, how many games are in? 11? 13. Okay, it's off by 2. Wow. Won 13 games with Aaron Rodgers having a down year. Okay. So it happened to work right for him, and Rodgers has bounced back completely. So they're a scary team. They kind of remind me of the St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf there, where the offense it just seems to click and work no matter who happens to be out, and the defense, like you said, has the bend but don't break thing, where it's they're going to give up big plays, but it seems like they'll make a big play or have a sack when they need it. With either the Smith brothers or something like that. I kind of get that feeling from them. Yeah,
100%. Another team that's really turned it on, that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They beat the Raiders. Gronkowski's getting going, and now, you've added Antonio Brown to the mix. How good is this Bucs team, BK?
They're good. I honestly didn't see Gronk really getting up to speed. I think O.J. Howard leaving the lineup earlier than expected didn't help. I thought kind of Cameron Brate would step in, but no, Gronk is kind of looking like old Gronk, and that's really scary for everyone. And then Antonio Brown did have a touchdown in his only game with the Patriots last year, so that should honestly just frighten everyone that he played one game with Tom Brady and managed to make it work. Didn't play the rest of last year, and so he's going in there with Bruce Arians, and then Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Just oh my gosh, an embarrassment of riches there for Bruce Arians. 100%. They're gonna start rolling in the NFC here.
Yeah. Pete.
I mean, this team's loaded. I mean, they're the best team in the NFC, and we didn't even. I mean, we just talked about how good the Bucks are. We didn't even mention their defense. Their defense is very good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this team is loaded. They didn't have a downer week after destroying the Packers from the previous week. They went all the way to Vegas and, played really well against the Raiders. So, yeah, this is the most complete team in the NFC right now. And, yeah, you add, a future probably Hall of Famer in Antonio Brown. Like, my God, this team is going to be terrifying.
Yeah, Antonio Brown, going to tear it up. I tried to get him in every league. I couldn't. I was beaten to the punch in every one of those. Shout out to David. Fuck him. You know what I mean? I want Antonio Brown back because I'm like, dude, this guy, say what you will, but Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers in the last 5-10 years that we've seen until he had a meltdown. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Maybe he got it right. And if he did, watch out because he's going to have this 1-year deal with some incentives here to finish off with Tampa. And if he looks right, let's see what happens. Let's see. The Chiefs have a complete team win versus the Broncos. But the big question here, I'm going to ask BK first. Were Pete and I wrong about Drew Lock, BK?
Yes. You absolutely both were wrong. I said it was too small of a sample size, and I hate to rub that in your ear. Did I say that really loud?
No, my ear started itching.
Let's block this out.
Yeah.
But hold on.
Take out my headphone, too.
Okay. Here, I'm going to read off Drew Lock's completion percentage. I'm not going to include the Week 2 game. That doesn't really count. But, all right, so Week 1, 66%. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Then Week 6, 41. And then last week, 60% completion percentage. And he has, let's see, how many interceptions on this year? Oh, he's got 4 interceptions to 1 touchdown with all those weapons. I mean, they only went out and drafted Jerry Jeudy. And then they got KJ Hamler there. They already have Cortland Sutton. Well, he's hurt right now.
Yeah.
But then you also have Noah Fant. Then they went out and actually got you a really good running back on top of the other running backs they had there. They got MG3 on top of Philip Lindsay, who was already very solid there. And he still can't do anything. So that's what I said. The sample size wasn't big enough, and he still has time to turn it around. It's still kind of early in the season, but the Broncos, John Elway cannot draft a quarterback. He has to sign him in free agency.
Boy, Pete, what happened, man?
Oh, I got one person to blame, and it's Pat Shurmur. I'm just going to blame him. It's Pat Shurmur. He took over as offensive coordinator. He's destroyed Drew Lock. Drew Lock had so much potential, and that's why me and Ryan drafted him in our Dynasty League, and he blew it. You know what? I'm 100% blaming it on Pat Shurmur. He's ruining Drew Lock. But no, honestly, Drew Lock has looked really bad. And it's very terrifying if you're a Denver Bronco fan to see this. But I don't know if it is coaching. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, BK listed off, all the weapons that he really does have, and there are a lot of them. So, I don't know. Damn it, Drew Lock. I thought you were supposed to be a lot better. But, yeah, I mean, it does not look good. Because I think in his career, if you go by, I mean, it is even a pretty small sample size. I think he has 8 touchdowns and 9 picks in his career. So you talk about mediocre. That's, you know what? Now I can see why Ryan likes him.
The Jeff Fisher of quarterbacks. Jay Cutler. Oh, Jay Cuddy.
That's what we drafted in our Dynasty League, Ryan. We drafted Jay Cutler. There we go, baby. I'll live with that. I'll live with that.
As long as you'll live with it, Pete.
Yep.
We have to. It's Dynasty.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
I'll tell you this. My biggest thing with Drew Lock is that there was a lot of people from a fantasy perspective that I read and I listened to that were very high on Drew Lock coming into the season. So it wasn't just me pulling it out of my ass. It's just it hasn't been great. So fuck them. Chiefs look good, but I hope they lose to like the Steelers or something. So fuck them. The 49ers destroy the Patriots. Are the Patriots going to go full rebuild? What does it look like here in New England, Pete? I don't know.
I mean, Gilmore was on the block.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're based. I mean, honestly, who could use Stephon Gilmore? Probably 30 teams. The only team that couldn't is the Jets because they're tanking. So, I mean, you have 30 other teams that would probably want Stephon Gilmore. I mean, they look so bad. I mean, Cam Newton's throwing the guy's legs. You got Julian Edelman, who's now hurt. I mean, they got nobody on offense. And what does the future hold? I don't know for this team. I mean, if you're the Patriots, and that's why it goes back to like what we're talking about with the Bills. The Bills don't have any contenders when it comes to the AFC East. It's basically gift wrapped to you. Brady's gone. Like, that's got to be, I think, what BK brought up. I mean, maybe it's in their head that this got to be and like we're supposed to be the best team, and it's getting to their head, and they're getting a little scared. I don't know, but the Patriots, God, do they look bad? I mean, wasn't that like their worst loss in like 20-something years
Yes.
at home?
Yeah.
Like it was just shocking to see. And you had a team, I mean, I know it's the old adage, but you had the team going West Coast to East Coast, and it's like the Niners just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots didn't even look like they should have been on the field. That was so bad.
BK, where are you at here on these Patriots?
I don't think they're in a full-on rebuild just because I think Bill Belichick is too good of a head football coach. He's going to kind of right the ship a little bit and make them competitive. And then also, they had so many guys opt out, like stars. Like, okay, so like Marcus Cannon opted out, Donta Hightower,
Okay.
Patrick Chung, Matt Lacoste, Brandon Bolden, Dan Vitale, Marquise Lee, Najee Turan. Like, I think they had more guys opt out than any other team. And then let alone you lose, Tom Brady as your quarterback and you bring in Cam Newton. They're not in a rebuild. I did pick the Bills to win that division, and I still think they will. But the Patriots will bounce back just because Bill Belichick. I believe in him. He's the best football coach, and if you want a guy to do your taxes and find the loopholes for you because he's a cheater, get him.
Well, I can't put any better than that. So Justin Herbert gets his first win and crushes the Jaguars. How impressive has he been this far? I'll start here. Justin Herbert's been fantastic. Pete, you picked him up, right?
No, I had him for 2 seconds, man.
Oh,
man, talk about a dig.
Damn.
Jesus
I
Christ,
honestly
man.
forgot.
Like, my God.
I
you already
honestly
knew that
forgot.
about the podcast.
No,
Jesus
I
Christ.
fucking forgot.
Oh, my
I don't remember who
God.
has Herbert then.
My team, all right, Ryan, in our league, I freaking hate my team. That might be my worst fantasy team. It's just, I don't even want to get into it.
BK, I want to get into it, though, because BK did draft a
get
team
into it.
that is in second place right now. So I have to give him credit where credit is due. Joey right now is at 10-4. Danny's team, which BK drafted, is 9-5, as is David and as is mine. We are on 9-5. Jose 7-7. DeFreakster 7-7. Tim 6-8. Dirty Zeke and the boys, which is Pete, is 5-9, which is tied with my dad at 5-9. And Nick Evans is bringing up the rear here at 3-11. What I'll say is each week it does feel like it's like Joey and Danny's teams are the two that are putting up a fuck ton of points, and everybody else is just kind of mixing in here in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I got so many running backs injured in that league. But I'm sure the viewers really could care less about my fantasy team.
Yes, you're right.
But Justin Herbert has looked fantastic. I honestly did not think he was going to look this good, this year. I mean, compared to, poor Joe Burrow, who's just getting destroyed by his offensive line. Also, I think 3 of his offensive linemen are out this week. So, like, I can't imagine what those backups look like if their starters look like trash already. So that's going to be bad there for him. But Herbert's done a great job. I mean, even when Allen's been out, Eckler's been out here for a few weeks, he's still figured it out. I mean, this is his first win. It was against a bad Jaguars team. But he's looked great, the entire time and should have beat the Saints, a few weeks ago. So he's been very impressive and very shocking to me. I didn't think he would look this good, this early.
BK, thoughts on Herbert?
He's looked really good, and he hasn't really lost them a game yet. He's even if he hasn't played great, he's kept them in the ball game, which is what you really just want from your rookie quarterback. And we were just talking about how much Drew Lock's not good at football. Justin Herbert through 5 games has 12 TDs and 3 interceptions. Drew Lock through 9 games has 8 TDs, 7 interceptions. Just to put it in perspective.
Weird. It didn't even have to be brought up.
Hey, he's still got more tutties than picks.
Stud. Yeah, that's a good Jay Cutler quarterback. I like it. Yeah.
Love it.
Herbert has looked very good though. Yes. Cardinals beat Seahawks in the Sunday Night Football thriller. It really was. It was fantastic. Is it the game of the year so far? I would say yes. What does this mean for the NFC West moving forward? Well, it means that division's damn good, and that division is basically the AFC North of the NFC. Because that is a good fucking division. Top to bottom. I mean, damn. Even San Francisco beat up his shit. Looks good. So, now, Pete, I'll ask you this. Where are you at on this division? Because obviously I think the Seattle's still the favorite, but boy, it's a tight division.
Yeah, I mean, it's very close. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this game was huge for the Cardinals and huge for Kyler Murray. Big stage, really showed out here. Went toe-to-toe here with Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell's basically been perfect the entire year. He had a couple, bad interceptions, especially that one in overtime. And Kyler looked fantastic here in this game. But yeah, that division, top to bottom. I mean, Cardinals are tough. I mean, the Cardinals showed it the week prior on Monday night. I mean, they beat Dallas. Well, not beat Dallas. They destroyed Dallas. So, they look great there. But the Seahawks, I mean, they went back and forth. I mean, think about it first, the Seahawks from, their perspective. They went to overtime, lost the game. DK Metcalf had like 2 catches for like 15 yards.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, it's because Tyler Lockett, threw up like 53 fantasy points after I traded him in fantasy the week prior. But again, we're not going to talk about my fantasy team. But I don't know why I keep bringing it up. But no, I mean, it was such a great game. But yeah, this division is so loaded. If the Niners are the worst team in this division, like, look out. I mean, they might have all 4 Can you imagine if all 4 teams make the playoffs?
Oh, because it's extended, right?
Yeah, with 7. You imagine that? That would be insane.
Well,
it could happen.
Yeah, because if you really break it down, only one by default has to get in from the East.
Yes.
The North, you're going to get Green Bay, but I don't know if the other 3 get in. The South, you're going to get Tampa. Maybe you get New Orleans in as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got to. They said it. I think it's mathematically it can happen. Like where all 4 make it, even this far into the season, which would be insane.
God damn.
I mean, it'd be basically the NFC West is is the playoffs. That would be crazy. But yeah, I mean that was a fantastic game though.
It was. BK, your thoughts on this division and that Sunday night thriller?
I did.
Oh. There you are.
I was watching the World Series. I was watching the World Series instead. But then when that ended, I flipped over to the football game because I pulled up ESPN real quick to see what the final score was, and they're like, "Oh, end of the 4th, tied." I was like, "Oh, cool." Flipped over, watched it. So that was real nice. But this is the best division in football, and I am kind of glad that Sean McVay has got those Rams like quietly kind of in the conversation. I feel like they're like if I have to pick a quiet team in that division, is probably the Los Angeles.
Oh, we're gonna
Rams.
get to those fuckers. Don't you worry. God damn it. Yeah, this division's super good. I love it. Now my big thing is I was just so happy with the Cardinals, but let me tell you something. This is bad bet of the week for Ryan. I had a 3-person anytime touchdown parlay. Kyler Murray to rush one in, Christian Kirk to catch one. Those both happened, and the third one was DK Metcalf to catch a touchdown. Now in this process, give everybody an update. I was under the weather the first half of this week. Under the weather, having some stomach problems. So in the process of me having to get up and like run to the bathroom, right? I had the sling going on my phone and I'm watching the game. DK Metcalf catches it, takes off, it's a touchdown. I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna win. It was like I think I was gonna win like $2,000. It was pretty good. And then I saw the flag. I'm like, no, fuck! I knew it was holding. And then went to overtime. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. Let's go DK Metcalf. And they didn't. And I was like, wow, this fucking sucks. But happy that Murray did well. Happy that Hopkins did well. Obviously fantasy, but tough. Now, the next part here, again, another Chicago reference. So I'm gonna need another one. All right. The Rams beat the Bears because the Bears are who I thought they were. trash. I said at the beginning of the year when I looked at this schedule, I thought they'd go 5-11, and everyone, all these Bears fans, called me an asshole. They're like, you're just pessimistic, Ryan. No, you're an asshole. Nope, this team fucking sucks. The offensive line is atrocious. It does not matter if it's Foles, Trubisky. It could be God himself coming down to be quarterback for the Chicago Bears, and he would get sacked all the time because that's how bad this offensive line is. It's really upsetting because they really are pissing away a great defense, a Super Bowl caliber defense. That does suck. What the Bears do from here, I don't know. It's not going to be good. Matt Nagy is a terrible play caller. But the Rams look good. Nice. Pete, thoughts on the Rams and Bears?
This is a perfect storm for the Bears. The Bears don't normally play good on Monday night. They're traveling to the West Coast. I'm all about the travel thing.
Yeah, I know. You love it.
I do love it. I feel like that's usually a huge thing. But yeah, I mean, they were traveling. That Rams, with how bad that offensive line is for the Bears, this was a terrible matchup. There. And the only way they were going to win this game was for the Rams to turn the ball over. And they didn't do that.
Till the end.
I mean, they played, until the end. Until, basically it was a gift that they gave, to Eddie Jackson there. So, I mean, yeah, that's bad. The Bears defense scored more than the Bears offense. Which, is never good for a game. So, yeah, and Foles didn't look great. And when you can't run the ball, when you're one-dimensional, especially against a good defense like the Rams have, you're going to have some problems. So, yeah, this was just a perfect storm for a bad game there for the Bears. But no, the Rams are really good. I mean, Sean McVay's got that team playing like they did a couple years ago. They're able to run the ball. They're playing smash mouth football. They're getting play action with Jared Goff, which I think Jared Goff, I'm not saying Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield are the same quarterback, but I think they both need the same thing. They both need a running game, and they both need to be able to move outside the pocket there with play action. And when you can get both those quarterbacks to do that, they're very good quarterbacks. When you get them off and they can't run the ball, they have issues when it's just drop back and pass like 40 to 50 times. And I feel like that is with Goff. So when they're on schedule, they're very good teams. But yeah, the Bears offense, you just don't know what they're going to do. And I mean, I know you talked about Nagy's play calling. I mean, you got to stop running this reverse on 3rd and 1, to Patterson. Just run the ball, just right up the middle. Jesus Christ. Stop trying to finesse it. Just run it right up the middle. Makes no sense. It's
really upsetting. It really, really is. BK, you are my honorary East Coast Bears fan, apparently. So, yeah. How do you feel with this fucking Bears team?
It would be what copy and paste what you guys have already said. I guess to be optimistic here for you Chicago fans, that you guys still have to play the Vikings twice this year, so that's good. And then you still get to play the Jaguars as well. You actually have a 3-week stretch where you play the Texans, Vikings, and Jaguars, and then you end the year against the Packers, who, if the Packers are way in first place and they already got their playoff seating set, they might not even care. So, I'm telling you, the last 4 games of the year can shake out very nicely for y'all.
I hope not. I hope this Bears team does stay just consistently shitty, because I would like a decent draft pick.
Well, I think not getting Le'Veon Bell, who went to the Chiefs, and it was we talked about the Bucs earlier, the rich getting richer, and it was the Chiefs just did that. They already had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he hasn't had an outstanding rookie year, but he's been solid. He's kind of fit in with that offensive scheme, and then Chiefs just go get Lev Bell, and it's just fuck, man, whatever. I think that's really hurting the Bears, because they drafted Trubisky, they kind of hitched their wagon to that and that stuff, and they kind of did the same thing with David Montgomery here, and he's just been...
Yeah, when you have a bad offensive line, it's hard, because he can't find any running lanes. Can't find any, man. Yeah. It is tough. Yeah. The average of 2.5 yards a carry, I fucking love to see it. I wish David was here, because he'd tell you how much he loves it. Yes. He fucking hates it. To recap where we're at right now in our stands here as we get to our pick'ems, Josh and David are still tied for first, but with a new member tied for first. That's me. We're sitting at 24 points. Dan's at 23. And a surge from P to Tahiti It made landfall. Piatini had 23
You know-
points, or 22
You know
points,
it, baby.
22 points, and BK rounded out the group at 21. Yeah, keep hitching that wagon to the Bears, BK. You gotta learn. Bears fans are cutting loose, and they're moving on, and BK's like, no, dude, come on. What the fuck? Bear down. Bear down, boys. All right, let's start it off here. Game 1, Las Vegas at Cleveland. Pete, who do you got?
I got Vegas in this game, and I do because there's a couple reasons. One, a lot of the games this weekend, it's going to be very windy. Vegas can really run the football, so I do like them in that part of this matchup. The other part that I do like, from Vegas's perspective, they just didn't play very well last week against the Bucs, so I think this is a bounce back game. So I'm gonna go Vegas in this game.
I'm going to take the Raiders as well, because I like Josh Jacobs in this matchup. Not super sold on the Cleveland defense, and let's see if Baker can duplicate what he did. He was damn near perfect, so that ain't going to happen, but we'll see how he actually looks a whole game without Odell Beckham Jr. We'll find out. BK.
Taking the Brownies probably against my better judgment. But the rush defense is really good for the Cleveland Browns. So if they can stop the Raiders and that potent rushing attack and force them to drop back more and throw, I think it helps them a little bit. Even though the Browns' pass defense isn't the greatest, but I like Myles Garrett getting out there and getting after the quarterback. So I will take that. And as well, so Brownies.
Let's go Brownies there for you. The game of the week for me, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Arguably the greatest rivalry in football. And I'm a Bears fan, but the Ravens and Steelers is much more fun to watch than the Packers and the Bears. It is. It's so because both teams are always like even. Whereas the Bears Packers is just ass. BK, let's start with you, buddy.
I'm picking my Baltimore Ravens. Touching on what I said earlier, Devin Bush, I want to see the long-term effects of him being out there. They still have TJ Watt who can get after the quarterback. So we'll see what happens with that. And then also, Baltimore had a bye week last week, so they had extra time to prepare for the Steelers. And the Steelers didn't look good in that second half. Ronnie Stanley just got locked up long-term, the left tackle for the Ravens now for a long time. Yeah, he's got the same money as Marlon Humphrey did, who also got locked up for the same amount of years as well. So hopefully he's happy and can just block the fuck out of TJ Watt. And then Ravens get the win, and I have bragging rights for a week.
Pete.
Man, so to BK's point, the Ravens are very good in the bye. I did see a stat today that the Ravens are actually 10-2 under Harbaugh after the bye. With that fact, I'm going to go Steelers here in this game. And I'm going to go Steelers just based on that defense. I just want to see Lamar do it against a really good defense here. I'm a little scared just because Lamar struggled here. So this is a big game, I think, for Lamar Jackson. I think I'm very scared for this pick because I feel like if Pittsburgh can have a faltering week, it would be this week.
Yeah.
And it does stink for Pittsburgh because I think Pittsburgh was supposed to have their bye week last week as well before the COVID Titans. So that really messed that up. But yeah, I'll go Pittsburgh, and it 100% has to do with their defense. I think they can force a few turnovers there with Lamar.
Yeah, here's my thing with this. I'm taking the Steelers as well. My biggest reason is because I watched the Chiefs completely dismantle Lamar Jackson, and the Steelers' defense is a whole other class above the Chiefs' defense. Bud Dupree, TJ Watt are going to get after the quarterback. That front line is very, very good. The front four for Pittsburgh is awesome. Micah Fitzpatrick out there, the secondary, also very, very good. And Joe Hayden has played great. So, like, fucking A. That defense is very good. Also, quietly, Big Ben has played very good this season. And that was with Juju struggling up until last week. So, this is pretty good. Pete, you touched upon that. You're going to need to see what James Conner can do this week and really get that running game going with him and Benny Snell. I hope they're able to do that. I'm going to take the Steelers, and I think this is going to be a great game. Just an absolute great game. Moving on here, the Rams and the Dolphins. Pete?
I hate this pick, mostly because I'm all about the time thing.
Yeah, you are.
And you got the time change on Sunday.
Fucking A,
like,
dude.
you got the Rams traveling from West Coast all the way to East Coast. You got a 1 o'clock kick, and you know what? Let's throw daylight savings time in there. Let's just throw that in there. With all that, I'm going Rams. They're just a better football team. Oh, you know what? Let's throw another thing in there that usually stumps teams. They're playing on a short week. So that terrifies me. But I think the Rams got this one out, and I think it has to do with Miami. I'm just unsure of Tua. I'm just not sure what we're going to see in that locker room. That's got to be so weird. I feel so bad for Tua because he got into a situation where it might be a divided locker room. I mean, for as bad as we were talking about with the AFC, they're right in the heat of this division, which is crazy to think about.
Credit to Fitzpatrick,
Yeah, but I'm going to go Rams. I just like the way that, that offense is moving. And Aaron Donald, I mean, Tua's probably not – it's got to be hard for him to sleep knowing that, Aaron Donald's going to be coming after him.
That poor guy.
So,
BK?
I hardly ever take the West team going to the East Coast because it does scare me, but I am taking the Rams just because Aaron Donald against Tua. Aaron Donald against the rookie quarterback. I'm going to take Aaron Donald, especially in the rookie's first actual career start. I'm going to take Aaron Donald every time in that matchup. I do not care. Done.
There's a reason why I became tied for first place in the picks. It's because I'm not afraid to take the risks. So I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins here to beat the Rams. I'm all in for Tua getting his first win in his first start, just because I don't know if the Rams are going to know. One, I think the Rams are in the same situation as us. We don't know what the fuck we're going to see from Tua. I have no idea. But I do like how this Dolphins team has played up until this point. For a team that doesn't have a lot of talent, they have found ways to win. So let's see if they can continue that. It's Tua's first game. Pete, you touched upon literally everything stacked against the Rams, time-wise and all that. So let's just roll with it and see if it works out. The Saints and the Bears. Let's let the Bears fan go first. Everything I ranted about earlier, repeat. Fuck them. Saints win. Pete.
Oh, dude. No, I'm going Bears here. I'm going Bears because this is what the Bears do. They play bad there on Monday night, and then they got the home game against New Orleans. This is Drew Brees' first outdoor game of the year. Okay, so that's one. Drew Brees, cannot throw it's basically his 5-yard slant that he throws all the time. Guess who's out? Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to go Bears in this game. Also, I talked about the windy conditions there in Cleveland. It's going to be windy again in Chicago.
24-mile-per-hour winds.
Yep. So I'm going the Bears defense to beat the Saints.
Oh, it's going to be 35 degrees Sunday.
Thank you. That's another point that I'm making. You got a dome team, and not only that, you got a 3:30 kick. And guess what? Daylight savings time. Guess what? It's going to get darker. Going to get darker sooner. Boom. It's going to get colder.
I want to point out here that it's 38 on Sunday, and then the following week it's 70. So shout out to Paul. Yeah, welcome to the Midwest, baby. BK, who are you taking here?
That's welcome to global warming. That's what that is.
It's gonna get colder. You see. Okay.
I am also taking the Chicago Bears. Like what P2 touched upon, Michael Thomas just not going to be there. Everything like that. The Saints cannot guard tight ends well, and what do the Bears have a lot of? Tight ends. I am taking the Bears.
The Bears. I hope. If they know how to use Cole Kmet right, that'd be great, and they have a chance. Because the dude's a stud every time he's on the fucking field. And they're like, we don't need to get him involved. Fuck that. Fuck it. Fuck the Bears. San Francisco versus Seattle. BK.
I'm going to take Seattle in the bounce-back game here. I think Russell Wilson's just going to get angry and throw all over the place, even though San Francisco beat the brakes off the Patriots last week. I gave them a shout-out to that because I didn't think they were going to play that well. So shout-out to the 49ers. Tip of the cap to them for playing so well last week, but picking against them again.
Your boy Russell, Muscle, Hustle, something.
Big man. Russell, Hustle, Big Man, Muscle, Wilson.
There it is. Pete, who are you taking?
I will also take the Seahawks for BK's boy, DK Metcalf. I think this is a big bounce-back game there for him. But I was tempted. I think this has got a chance. I think this is going to be the second best game their other weekend because the Niners did look really good last week. So I was so tempted. I think if this game is played in San Francisco, I might have taken San Francisco, but I just can't see Seattle losing back-to-back weeks here. Russell Wilson shows out here.
That's my big thing. I don't see him losing back-to-back weeks either. But I would not be surprised. This could be a trap game for him because San Francisco has played very well. But I will go with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Let's get to our underdog picks. BK?
I am taking the Patriots over the Bills in a must-win game for the Patriots. Cam Newton has already referenced that earlier this week in an interview. I think Bill gets them ready. We've been worried about the Bills here in recent weeks, so I think Patriots jump on the opportunity, take the upset.
I will take the Lions over Indianapolis. There's not a whole ton of upsets that I wanted to look at anyway this week, but I believe it's in Detroit. DeAndre Swift is starting to get used more, specifically in the passing game. Matt Stafford, gunslinger. Let's see if he can beat Indianapolis. Also, again, for the 8th week in a row, fuck Phillip Rivers. Pete, where you at?
Man, unbelievable shot at Phillip Rivers. But I will go with the Patriots over the Bills as well. I just can't see the Bill Belichick's, looking as bad as they did last week again. And it goes back to what we were talking about last week or earlier with the Bills. They just did not look good there against the Jets, and that scares me. So I'm going to go Patriots, to beat the Bills here.
All righty. We will see how that shakes out after Sunday and Monday. We'll see how we look and where the pick'ems stand. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this sports show from Amalgamation Nation. You can find these episodes, the gaming ones, the Weebisodes, and all the other ones we do by searching for Amalgamation Nation on your podcast platform of choice, such as Spotify, Google, Apple, etc. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Amalgamation Nation and hit that sub button and check out BK's unboxing of the Oculus Quest 2. Also, find us on Twitter and Instagram at AMNationPod, Facebook.com/AMNationPod. UndeadRedBull.tv/merch is where you get your Undead Red Bull and Amalgamation Nation merch. Go to twitch.tv/UndeadRedBull. Watch him stream, but also give him a sub and a follow. Also give a follow to twitch.tv/slap_nugget. 2 P's and 2 G's. On Twitter, follow at Josh Barlog. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time, I join him for Natty Nights, which is a sports podcast, national sports and Chicago sports. If you missed the live streams, you can find it on your podcast platform of choice as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's been a blast. Have a happy Halloween. Go fucking vote and stay breezy.